everybody doing?
Good. How are you?
Cold.
Yeah. What is this?
I miss the 88 and sunny.
It'll come back.
I know. Hopefully soon.
How are your young and new linebackers, Stefan and your early goalies, doing now that you're 11 practices into the spring?
They've been doing a really nice job. The older guys in the room, Nick and Luke, those guys last year, and John, I think they set a really good standard in the room. So those guys are doing a nice job right now, doing everything we ask, working hard, trying to get better every day. So they're doing a nice job.
You've seen a increase in readiness from Stefan. Tony mentioned that he's now getting into better shape, and from Coach Rule that it was a rocky transition for him early in the winter. How have you seen his progression?
I think he's getting better. Obviously, it was a transition for him to move here, be a part of this program, the culture, kind of adjust to everything. The way we do everything, really, from the weight room, nutrition, sleep, study hall, literally everything. So that was a transition for him, and he's working every day to get better at it, kind of understanding how we want to do things. And so he's gotten better at it, learning how we practice, what our expectations are, what our standards are. So he's improving.
With the Jack linebackers, what's your impression of that group and maybe the progress that they've made so far?
Yeah, they've been doing a nice job so far. Physical, working their butts off. I got nothing but good things to say about them. Obviously, every day the whole room is trying to get better, but they've been doing a nice job so far this spring.
What about Vincent Shavers? I mean, the recruiting of him, you guys jumped on him kind of late. I mean, how, I want to say surprised, but just how for him to come in this quickly when you really didn't have much of a chance to probably recruit him over the process. How big of a surprise has this been for you guys?
Yeah, it's been pretty cool. I think Coach Rule mentioned it the other day. He's kind of the type of young man that you want on your team. Does everything right, works his tail off, the way he plays the game, just a lot of energy, physical, flying to the ball. He's what you want, and so I feel blessed that he's on our team for my sake and everyone else that's a part of it.
How quick did his recruiting process move for you? Because it was literally a week before signing day, pretty much.
Yeah, it was quick. We went to see him, and it was like, hey, come up to Nebraska, and he came on the OV and said, I'm coming to Nebraska, and the rest was history from there. So it was a short period of time, and I'm glad he's here.
Tony highlighted Bullock and said, he's just really playing fast right now and with a lot of confidence. Have you seen him kind of take another step kind of based off of last year's, performance?
Yeah, for sure. I think, he transitioned from DB to linebacker last year and hasn't really played that position before. So he obviously had the opportunity to go through a season, get as many reps as he did, and get some confidence from playing the position. I think now, just being an older guy, having some experience at the position, he's got a ton of confidence, and he's one of the leaders in that room. So it's been good to kind of see him play a little bit more free and kind of know exactly what to do, how to do it, now that he's done it, to gain some confidence.
How have you seen him embrace that leadership role, especially with two of the other old heads from last year that aren't here anymore? It's been cool to see, because really last year John transitioned to play linebacker, and so it was kind of new to him, even though he was an older guy. And now you see him kind of I laugh because I just see him and the young guys all in there together, and John getting on him like, hey, what are you doing? Like, we just talked about this. And so he's kind of in that coaching role in a sense, but at the same time, he's obviously playing. So it's been cool to kind of see him take ownership of the room a little bit more than he did a year ago, because obviously he's more comfortable.
Coach Rule or Tony mentioned with the spring league stuff, like, all the assistants are calling defenses, and it can help you for the future.
Yeah.
How big a benefit is that to have a staff that works that way, where you're calling some things, and I'm sure Evan is, and everything.
Yeah, it's been a great experience for us. I go back and watch the tape and say to myself, like, man, that was stupid. Like, I shouldn't have called that, and have Coach White give us some reflection about, hey, why'd you do this? Why'd you call this? And just kind of give us feedback, because we haven't done that before, and that just helps you in the long run. You're like, man, you could evaluate yourself and be like, why'd you do it? Why'd you call it? whatever the reasons may be. So it's been really good. A couple times I said to myself, like, man, that was dumb. But you learn from it, just like playing the game. You learn from your mistakes and you try to get better at it, and so you don't make that same mistake.
Could you do it in a game?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the point now. It's like, hey, let's work on it, and so that you get better and better at it and kind of fix your mistakes. And I guess it's one of those things you don't know until you do it, right? Like, you got to go out there and do it, and you're going to make mistakes in the game too, and that's kind of how it is.
What kind of appreciation do you have that for Tony and Matt, that they have put you and the other assistants in a position to do things like that can benefit you long term?
Yeah. No, I'm thankful for it. I mean, it's been really good. We've never done that anywhere I've been with Coach, so it's really cool because now we get the chance to grow even more. And Coach White kind of has that. I don't know what the right word is. Like, he's the head coach now in a sense, because now we're coordinators. So we're kind of the chain of command a little bit changes. So I've really enjoyed it. I thought it's been really good. We'll talk about different things that we called, why we did it, and it's been really beneficial. Thankful for it.
Mekhi Berry is one of those guys who maybe made a big jump last season. I mean, how did you evaluate his performance last year, and what does he bring into the room again this season?
Yeah, so I think Mekhi had the opportunity to step in. Last year was the first year he's really played, so he kind of gets that experience, that a little bit of what John did of, like, he's been in the same position, but now he had the opportunity to play last year. He got some confidence. He's got a better understanding of not only the scheme, but playing the game and how physical it is and everything that comes along with it. So Mekhi's been doing a nice job so far. Again, he's got to keep pushing himself every day. I got to push him every day, and we got to continue to get better.
With all the years you've worked with Coach Rule as a player and now as an assistant, I mean, what's maybe the biggest thing you understand now that maybe you didn't understand as a player, and what's the thing you've taken the most from Coach Rule when it comes to this game and coaching student athletes?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think just in general, like, when you're a player, sometimes you don't have the maturity that you do as you get older. So, I was a younger player. I was a sophomore when I played for Coach Rule, and it was only a season because I got injured, but I didn't really understand the why of a lot of things. And now as you get older, you're like, okay, that makes sense. Like, we practice that way because it's going to help us do this. Or we go to study hall every day. We go to our tutor to do this. Like, I think when you're younger, you don't really understand that. And as you get older, you have a sense of appreciation for it. And so now, being a coach in the role, it's like, hey guys, these are all the mistakes that I made. These are all the reasons that we do it. And, when I was a player, I had the same thought process. Like, we were all players before, so we kind of get it. And it's just good from my perspective to kind of explain to them, hey, I've been in your shoes with Coach, and this is the reasons why we're doing things. So I think it's really beneficial.
Seems like he still will get after the assistants, though, and still hold you guys to a high standard, though. I mean,
yeah.
How much does that mean to you that he expects high things out of you guys as well?
No, it's great. I mean, that's the only way to do it. If Coach isn't hard on us, then, like, who is, So I think once the players see that too, that he has the same standards and expectations for the coaches that he does with the players, and even higher, like, that's what it's all about. That's why you come to work every day, to push each other to make sure that we're all going for the common goal.
Thanks, Rob.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Stay warm.
Yeah.